Thank you, Brendan. Welcome to the trade here. Look, there were a lot of longs at 8:30 that we could have talked about here, but then something happened on Uber, and we have a couple of trades we're going to talk about on Uber today because they had a big halt while they had their investor day, and that's why we wanted to open with this name because it was a bit of a unique situation. Now, they had a pretty mixed report. Some of the profit, a good bulk of the profits from equity sales, definitely had them moving upside here. You can see on a 60-minute, you were essentially breaking out in the aftermarket into a new range. So you're breaking out, you don't have a lot of levels to work off of. There were some signs that it was a relatively weak number overall, so there were some concerns that I had with their profitability. Really, they had a loss if you take away some of their equity gains, although it still was an EPS beat by that measure. You did have a pre-market high right around 43 that got held here at the open. Now keep in mind the context here. You did have that CPI number take the markets to the downside and then come roaring back off of those lows. So what this provided you with was a resistance level off the top that was established, and knowing we wanted to short, essentially just allowing the market to settle down. Not chasing it, not shorting it at 41, not shorting it here at 41.5, allowing it to get right back to the open level where it failed shy of 42.5 in front of 43. Once we were in, first consolidation was one-to-one risk where usually I'm going to be scalping it, thinking I'm going to get an opportunity to trade in this range. At that time, the market was booming. Never got the re-entry and then it fell off. Now here's where things got interesting. I had a couple of shorts at this time. Twilio got trailed out. But Uber, when the market tried to bounce again, went sideways. It held below VWAP. I was like, okay, this is looking pretty good. The mistake in Twilio was I didn't hold on to it longer. In the case of Uber, I decided, no, this should either retest the low of the day if it's relatively weak, or I can maintain my stop. If I hadn't scalped anything out, then maybe I'd consider putting a trailing stop in. So we decided we're going to hold it. What happens next is entirely a bit of a fluke, but it did put me to a decision. Uber then halted. Nothing was happening. News pending halt during their investor day. So this entire time, I'm sitting in the short trade looking to see what's going to happen next. Now, obviously, it can go in either direction at this point, and it's completely out of my control. However, the news comes out that Morgan Stanley has decreased their stake in Uber. It ends up gapping down right through my target area. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, once it indicates that it's opening up around that 40, I'm likely to trail it. I didn't have supreme conviction that this was going to cause the stock to tank any further than it did, so I decided to trail it out. Now, once I'm out of the position, I then let it settle down and decide how am I going to trade it post-news. Obviously, it was not the right call to get out of my short, but it does give me an opportunity after making a bottom to reevaluate that decision at the same price point that I was observing at the open. And what I did see was when it was trailing around this 40 to 40.25 area, it could not break that quarter. I ended up shorting into that range, reestablishing what was support earlier as the new resistance, and then got into a nice winning short trade. And the lesson learned for me here is, look, you can make that mistake. You can cry over spilt milk that you've missed about $1.50 and thrown away those profits, or you can analyze the price action, decide when it snaps back. Okay, well, I had the short on before, I didn't take it. Do I still like it? Answer, yes. Take the position, now hold on to it once again. And once again, I've scalped some out into first resistance, and I'm holding even into the close here because I have no reason to get out. So basically doing almost the same thing we did before, but allowing things to calm down and then make the decision. So your trade here is going to be Uber. It's a winner, but keep in mind, things could have gone the other way here. As a matter of fact, had it opened above that 43, I was just getting out 100% because that would have violated my stop order. Thankfully, it didn't, and we're able to get 2 trades out of 1.